lectures, just copy and paste. Just
Don't
copy the link of the entire lecture, and like AI will simplify the whole thing.
No.
And then and it will create notes for you. And in my brain, I'm just like, who's learning here?
Yeah. Hi guys, and welcome to Apprenticeish, where we talk all about apprentices, apprenticeships, kind of.
My name's Alika.
And my name's Josephine.
And we're your hosts of the Apprenticeish podcast.
Today's episode is going to be about ChatGPT for apprentices, which is basically where we cover the use of AI during a degree apprenticeship, the risks and the ways to use it safely. And I think it's going to be a really interesting episode. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
So we're basically going to talk about the different areas of your apprenticeship that you can use AI. And first we'll discuss university, which is, I feel like it's the riskiest.
Very risky.
Place to use AI. Yes. So
I think it's the most commonly used place, I would say.
Yeah. And it's like, it's useful in terms of saving time and using it as a tool, but using it to like do the work that you're supposed to do, that's where it gets people in trouble. So I like to use AI for brainstorming, and it's like really good study tool for understanding like complex concepts and breaking down things that you don't get just from reading it in the textbook. It's also good at like verifying information, and if there's something, if you're reading something and you get everything but that part, I guess using ChatGPT to sort of break it down for you is really, really useful. I also think it is a game changer for neurodivergent students.
1000%.
Yes.
So glad you mentioned that.
100%. Not only does it save time for neurotypical students, but neurodivergent students can actually remove barriers with AI. For example, textbook reading that you're not going to complete because you just don't,
So long.
Yeah, your conditions are not going to allow you to complete that. Having like AI break down and simplify textbook reading, that's something that I use it all the time.
Yeah. I've literally seen adverts where like, I mean, obviously it's not the same thing because sometimes the textbook reading is very overwhelming. But I've definitely seen adverts where people are like, yeah, you don't even need to attend any lectures. Just copy and paste. Just copy the link of the entire lecture, and like AI will simplify the whole thing.
No.
And then and it will create notes for you. And in my brain, I'm just like, who's learning here?
Yeah.
Is it you or the AI?
Because you can't take AI with you into the exam.
That's insane.
So you're going to get caught out.
Yeah.
That's crazy marketing.
I thought that was outrageous.
Don't go to any lectures. Yeah. Right. Well,
I wouldn't say the round, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I feel like, so in our apprenticeships, we do solicitor apprenticeships. So it's law school, it's heavy reading. Using the tool responsibly to break things down is great, and it's really, really helpful. But as I keep using the word tool because it's supposed to assist you. It's not supposed to replace the work that you're supposed to be doing yourself.
Yeah.
And there are horror stories in absolutely every university where things have gone wrong and students have been found guilty of academic misconduct. Definitely
into the AI system and then submit the essay as if it was your own. That's insane.
Exactly. So you have to be responsible with it as a student, for sure.
Yeah. I think also I'd probably just say that I have seen it being used to like turn your notes into flashcards as well.
Ooh.
Which I thought was really interesting.
See, that's a very responsible, study hack type of way to use it, as opposed to like putting your exam question in it.
Insane.
And, you know what I mean?
Insane.
You guys already know anyway. We don't have to.
No, some of them don't.
Okay, fine.
The only thing that I will say about using AI systems as well, even when you're like taking notes and stuff, is that there is a risk that sometimes like through the note-taking process or through making the flashcards, like that's actually how some people learn the information. So these are your own risk.
Yeah, I fully agree with that, because when I use flashcards, making them as part of my making them is part of my revision process rather than
Exactly.
having them and going through them.
Yeah.
So yeah, to each their own. As long as you're using it like responsibly, it shouldn't be a problem.
Agreed.
Yeah. Work.
The next. Yeah. Okay, so another area that you can use AI tools and systems is obviously with your job. Now, this is coming with many caveats. You should not be using that to input confidential client information to do the work you're being paid to do. It's, you'll be walking through the side of danger. Not only putting yourself and the firm at risk, but also the client's information just should not be going on to any AI system. Like, that's literally insane.
I would add not just confidential client information, but company information in general.
I agree.
There was, it was in Samsung, this engineer got fired because he leaked like top secret code into ChatGPT that Samsung were planning to use for their future business plans.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because he needed ChatGPT's help to fix a problem. But ChatGPT and all of these like generative AI tools, they are all self-learning, which means all the information that you feed them, they retain because they use it to train themselves.
Yes.
It's a robot basically. So it's like once you give information over, that's it. Like they have it. There's no taking it back. And yeah, he got fired. So
it's insane.
Yeah, and like even closer to our industry, the judge that got thrown. Well, I think he was representing his client in a personal injury claim in a federal court in New York, and he used ChatGPT to cite cases to support his argument, and ChatGPT gave him like 6 cases
made up.
That didn't exist.
I think I read that story actually.
It went like kind of viral at our firm, didn't it? Like in the news.
Oh gosh.
And not only did he look like a fool, and professional and like professional negligence charges, like your client could sue you for being useless. And then on top of that, like all the time and money that's come to getting you to this point in the court, like you're wasting everybody's time and money. You're wasting like, do you know what I mean? It was just a big L. Like, and the thing is, he could have saved himself, because if ChatGPT wants to give you made up case law, why can't you cross check it? Why can't you check on the internet or in your legal databases if it actually exists? He was just like, that's great. Grabbed it, went to the courtroom.
Probably do
crazy. That's not funny, because he lost. I don't know if he lost his job.
I don't know. I mean, probably.
Serious, serious repercussions.
No attention to detail there. But then also, it does say, like, every AI system that I've ever used, it literally says that this information may not be accurate.
I feel like when people are desperate, they're not looking at that. They're looking for their answer. But yeah, no, it's true. It's true. And I think, with ChatGPT, I checked this. Their knowledge of the world and the law and politics,
it's not all the way up to date.
Yeah, it stops 2022 or 2023.
Yeah.
So if you're asking for information like that is recent, they will make up things to answer your questions, provide a solution to your problem. Doesn't mean it's going to be true. So, it has its limitations.
It does.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it even in regards to like SQE1 prep. So SQE is like the qualification exams to qualify as a lawyer in the UK.
I love how you're rolling your eyes.
But it's, I didn't even know until I had like a tuition session that like the tax amount that you need to earn in order for you to be registerable for VAT increased like by like £5,000. So now you need to earn £90,000 before. This is not legal advice. This is not legal advice. You need to have a turnover of at least £90,000 in order to be registerable, in order for you to have to pay VAT.
Okay.
And I didn't know that, but it literally changed so recently.
Oh,
and
okay.
I learned that through a person. But I use any AI system in order to like fact check how much like the threshold is for an exam that's coming up. I would have gotten that completely wrong. So I don't know. A bit dangerous.
Assistant, guys.
Assistant, yeah, which is prone to error.
Yeah, exactly. And I started off saying, I think uni is the most dangerous place to use it. But actually, now that I think about it, on the job is where I would use it less.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever used it for work.
Oh, I use it for work.
Really?
Yeah. It streamlines a lot of routine tasks because I know how to use it. I've built up my AI literacy to some extent. So in terms of email drafting, obviously if I'm drafting a email to clients, that's all me. But if we're trying to arrange like an internal team meeting, and I need to draft something to my bosses and my team, like I'll just be like, draft me a invite to, like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Like, it's very the most basic, mundane, and no details at all
required. Yeah.
Sort of tasks I will delegate to AI because it helps. I think this goes back to the whole it being a game changer for neurodivergent apprentices. Like, I think apprentices with autism would benefit from this sort of thing where it can replace the sort of conversation or always knowing what to say in response to, teams, like, and the banter and the arranging this and that. It can help. And then the same with apprentices with ADHD, like if they're in flow and they're in this uninterrupted work mode, they don't need to be sort of disrupted by things that they could have templates for, that AI could just make a template for it, like, and they can just have it in their bank and just like deliver it whenever they need to. So yeah, it still can be used in work. You just have to be extremely careful.
Should not be drafting client care letters through any AI system.
Thank you.
That's wild.
But one thing I will say for work and for uni, there should be training. There should be policies, procedures, a statement. I remember when a certain AI tool exploded, like I've forgotten the name, but like the dean of our university wrote a letter out to all of us. So everybody makes their position, all the authorities involved in your degree apprenticeship should be making their position very clear on the use of it, because obviously as legal apprentices, we're going to have one way in which it's going to be really detrimental to our careers to use it. And then as coding apprentices, it's going to be different. So yeah, you should look at the training, basically.
I agree. I think for one of the pieces of coursework that I did or something I had to submit, there was like a whole academic misconduct course that you had to do.
It was compulsory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we all had to do
it. Tick that, yeah. It was interesting. Yeah. But actually, I was just thinking from like another perspective, like in terms of using AI to help your written voice, particularly at work. Because some people, like, especially if you have identity issues in terms of like you don't feel confident or you're not sure how to communicate in a professional way, you can, have it help. Like if I was like a marketing apprentice and I wanted my supervisor to review a marketing plan that I drafted and you had a few questions, sometimes getting the tone correct might just be better done with, an AI tool, because you might just get really excited and put loads of exclamation marks where there really doesn't need to be, just add a full stop and keep it pushing. Yeah. But you might not have the confidence to do that. So AI can help there, I guess, as well.
Yeah, it can definitely help correct your tone. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that links really nicely with using AI for your own sort of personal branding.
Yes.
Because there are so many. I think this is where you have more free reign with AI. It can save you a lot of money. So where you would spend money to get somebody to maybe polish up your online presence and your LinkedIn profile and your CV, or to train you up for applying for a certain job and giving you mock interview questions, like AI can do all of that if you frame the task correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can save you a lot of money. It can save you a lot of time. I use it on LinkedIn a lot. And I can see from my feed that other people are using it.
Yeah. Sometimes you can really tell.
You can tell. It's like
a bit off-putting.
Yeah.
I think the moment I can tell that something's AI generated, I do scroll.
Yeah. You have to
You put no love, no energy into this.
Yeah. You have to tweak it because at the end of the day, the reason like personal branding is about authenticity. So you're supposed to use AI if you want to use it. You should use it to enhance your voice, not to replace it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can always tell when someone's gone really hard on ChatGPT. I can't lie.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
I think I've only used it twice for LinkedIn.
Really?
Yeah. And I like have to heavily edit it afterwards.
Yeah. So I use it all the time, but I heavily edit it afterwards. Because I'm like, it's not what my input isn't, can you write me a post about this? It's like, can you write me a post about this to this audience using my notes, all of my content?
Yeah.
So it's reshuffling, rejigging, replacing some words. So what's the product of it is sort of mine and ChatGPT's sort of child. And then from that, I will edit it further.
Yeah.
So I'm very obsessed with keeping the authenticity there. But I won't deny that AI doesn't play you know what I mean? It plays a part in the like production of my content. Yeah. So yeah, I like AI.
I use it for like creating plans, marketing plans especially, helping to prepare like YouTube thumbnails to make them like searchable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, descriptions to make them because I mean, some of them are a bit crap. So I just tweak it quite a lot. But I do think, like, obviously, it will know how to use or generate stuff that's, like, SEO friendly more than I will. Like, I just don't have those expertise.
Yeah.
So.
And, like, also, in terms of, like, SEO optimization, it can find those results in a minute. Yeah, a second. What am I saying? A minute? A second.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And it would take us all this time to do all of that research. So, yeah, it has its place. It definitely has its place. I think we should discuss best use.
Yeah.
We've sort of like hinted at it throughout the whole of like this podcast, but I think always verify information with trusted sources. Whatever ChatGPT gives you, you need to check it and check it again.
Any AI.
Yeah, any AI, whatever. Thank you. Thank you for that. I think you should always maintain transparency. I think the reason why students sort of get in trouble and get in these academic misconduct hearings is because it all centers on lack of integrity and dishonesty. So if you're maintaining transparency with your tutors and your supervisors about how you're using AI, they can either tell you to stop immediately or, you know, refer to this training, refer to this policy and make sure you're using it compliantly. So definitely use it safely.
And then also, we are highly and strongly, vivaciously, with all the energy in the world, recommending that you get up-to-date relevant training, check your policies. Maybe they've changed since this whole AI movement was first launched. Don't just assume that you know how your company wants you to use AI or in what space it should be used. If they don't have training, contact your learning and development department. Like, there's no harm in saying, hey, is there any training or has it been updated or anything like that? Or your IT department, they might actually have that as well, to be fair. You know, and also like just erring back onto the side of caution. You cannot hide behind, oh, I didn't know, or this is something that didn't enter my brain. Yeah, like that's not good enough. You think the lawyer who found out that these cases are fake could hide behind the fact that he didn't know? No.
Yeah, it's not going to save you. And that's a really big difference between apprenticeships and like school beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we talk about how apprenticeships is sort of like a springboard into like adulting, honestly, like it's not a game, guys. You could lose the salary, the training, the job security like that if you don't, you know the rules and stay on top of, like, stay updated on the rules and stay within the rules. So yeah.
Yes.
Should we move on to the Q&A?
Yes. If you have any question or scenario that you would like to send over to us for us to answer on the podcast, please email apprenticeish@gmail.com. That's apprenticeish@gmail.com.
Okay, so this is the Q&A section. And this apprentice is a software engineer, so wow. Right, I'll read it out. For context, I'm currently 6 months into a degree apprenticeship in software engineering. Starting from zero coding experience, I've been gradually getting the hang of C++ and its syntax. The first few months were particularly challenging, and although I'm improving, I still find myself lost at times. Balancing work and study has been demanding, and I'm looking for ways to make my coding journey smoother. Specifically, I'm interested in how AI tools like ChatGPT or Claude AI can assist me with coding. Is there a guide on how to use these tools effectively for my studies and work tasks?
Go.
Whoa.
You can go first.
Okay, so I think first of all, disclaimer: we are legal apprentices. We don't know anything. I don't know what C++ is. I don't know any coding, anything. But I would refer you to what happened to that engineer in Samsung who was, his supervisors had already signed off on everybody using ChatGPT to help them with their problems. The issue was he put the wrong data into that generative AI. He gave away company secrets, and that's what got him fired. So it's not just about, I was going to say, training, asking your employers, asking your supervisors. It's not just about that. You have to really use critical analysis to decide what you're going to put into this tool. Every time you put something into this robot, you are taking a risk. And so, yeah, you have to think about sensitive data. You have to document and timestamp everything that you're doing, just in case somebody wants to accuse you of something later or question you later. You have a very contemporaneous note of everything that you've used this for, and you can defend yourself and show that you've used it compliantly. So in terms of, are there any effective tools or guides or resources, that I think that's for somebody in your industry and your profession to signpost you to. But sort of as the legal apprentices, we just want to make you alive to the risks. Is there anything you want to say?
I think I would just say, like, if you are really struggling to balance work and study and stuff like that, it might just be worth asking. It doesn't need to be the systems that you've mentioned, but whichever one you want to use, to create like a plan for you, even if you have to do it each week using the exact same prompt. Explain how many hours of work you need to be very specific when you're using AI tools. So explain how many hours a week you work, how many hours a week you want to study, how many hours you want free time. Ask it to come up with a timetable to help you balance work and study. You can ask it to have like some extra lead time if you think you're gonna, you've scheduled 1 hour for this and it actually takes 3 hours or whatever. I think that could be a very helpful way, or even just asking it for advice. You can literally just ask it, hey, I'm a apprentice in this industry and I need to know how to save time. Can you help? Or you can ask it to create a timetable for your endpoint assessment portfolio or a revision schedule, which is something that most people would do anyway. So I think, yeah, just on the study and work-life balance, you could probably use it that way.
100%. I think it's really good at like managing time, and it's tweakable. It's something that you can keep under review. If you're a degree apprentice, then you're familiar with quarterly reviews, where somebody from your uni will come into your workplace and discuss everything you've done over the past quarter. In our situations, we're asked to show how much time we spend on what in our study days. At the end of every episode, we do a golden nugget. This section is basically a quote, a one-liner, a book or a movie recommendation, or a song, anything that we want to leave you with that we think could serve our audience. So I'll go first. My golden nugget, which is literally just a repetition of what I've been saying this whole episode, is AI is a tool, not a shortcut. So don't use it for blind use. And I've put here, become AI literate so that you can use it wisely, ethically, and produce good results and save time whilst protecting your integrity. So it's a bit loaded, but that's like the correct way to use it in your apprenticeship.
Mine's is, if you're unsure of whether or not you should be using AI in a particular way, don't. Just don't use it.
Sorry, that wasn't funny.
That's
It
it.
just made me laugh.
Just don't use it. If you're not sure, oh, should I be putting this information in, or like, I don't know, just leave it out. Like, it's better to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
And ask a person. Like, you actually work with other work colleagues.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need to live an over-reliant life on AI.
It was just the way you said it. It was just the way you said it. You're like, don't. But yeah. Okay, well, that's everything, guys.